What's up, guys? My name's Jordan, and today I was reading Daniel chapter 10, and I wanted to take you all along the journey with me. So, the title of this video is going to be called Delays Aren't Denials. What do I really mean by that? Daniel sent a prayer to God, and it went unanswered for 3 weeks, and on the 24th day of the month, his prayer was answered by an angel. So, if you go to Daniel chapter 10, verse 12, you'll see what I'm talking about. Also Daniel chapter 10, verse 13, the whole reason why his prayer wasn't answered was because of a spiritual warfare that was happening. An angel couldn't come immediately, but God still heard the prayer, which was in Daniel chapter 10, verse 12. The prayer that Daniel had given to God was still heard. So if you're ever praying for something and it's not being answered immediately, don't get it twisted. Don't start thinking God didn't hear me, God doesn't exist. Just because your prayer wasn't answered immediately, it doesn't mean God won't answer it in some fashion. And there's 3 different ways that we're going to be talking about as to how he could answer your prayer. Okay, number 1, we have immediately saying yes, where you make a prayer to God and within minutes, seconds, or that day, God answers it. Okay, so the biblical example that we have for this is when Moses opened up the Red Sea. He called on God to open up the Red Sea when he was taking the Israelites out of Egypt to flee from the danger. God heard him and it was split open. So that is what happens biblically when we're talking about the prayer being immediately answered. The second form of an answer to a prayer is when God says not yet. So it's a yes, but it's not going to happen when you think it's going to happen. Biblical example of this is when Abraham has a kid, but at a very, very old age. It was said that he was going to have children. God answered his prayer, but he didn't have the kid at 25 years old, 30 years old, or even 40 years old. He had the kid when he was an elder. So it didn't happen immediately, but it was still answered. Number 3 is I have something better. When God says, I have something better in store for you than you could even imagine. You may have someone in your life, perhaps let's take marriage as an example, and you're like, all right, this girl or this guy is a perfect fit for me. They're going to be my husband or my wife, and there's no other option. And you're praying about it and you're praying about it. But then God's like, no, I got something better for you. And so we need to humble ourselves and understand that we don't know everything, but that God knows everything. God knows what is best for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the girl that you may be talking to, maybe a lukewarm Christian, has some faith, but really doesn't practice it, but you're like, it's good enough. But God's like, no, I have something better for you. And the thing that he has better for you, I promise you, will outdo every experience, every thought, everything that you had before. So if there is that girl that you think is the one, and God's like, no, I have something better for you, trust in him, and you will see that. Because when you'll look back at it and you actually do have the thing that he promised you, the person, whatever it is, you'll be like, he was right. That girl that I thought was going to be my wife, I was just blinded by the feelings that I had. It wasn't really the right person. Okay. And then a biblical example for that is when David wants to build God a temple, but instead he reverses and said, I want to build you the house. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was because David was going to have the lineage for the Son of Man. And so God wanted to build his house on David. Or not build his house on David, but build him the house. Which is in 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 12, 13. As I was reading Daniel, I really saw and was seeing how Daniel's prayer was delayed. And throughout that, he lost strength and he had a lot of anxiety. But when the angel actually came to deliver, he was strengthened. He was given what he was needed to carry on, to move on. And then his prayer was answered. And he was praying for understanding and was finally given it. Daniel interpreted dreams, and so he was given the strength to answer the prayer, which is in Daniel chapter 9. All right, and so I hope this video helped you all in some form or fashion, but just understand the 3 different answers to prayers may not look exactly like what you're thinking, which was immediately. God could say yes. He could be like, yes, immediately. Or he could say not yet. Or he could say, I just have something better for you. And we need to trust that our Father in heaven has something better for us than what we think we have for ourselves. That wraps up the video, though. Love you guys. See ya.